Hi, I'm Benjamin, and I've been playing Dungeons and Dragons since high school. Over the years, my experience has expanded to include systems such as GURPS, Dark Heresy, and Shadowrun. Now, I'm here to make my experience available to you and help you make your games as much fun as they can be. Play by Post is a format of game where play takes place on a permanent forum or message board, and each player sequentially posts their actions, with most games having a prearranged posting schedule such as once a day, 3 times a week, etc. As a format, Play by Post has many strengths. The time taken allows players and game masters alike to think through their words and actions in a way that many formats simply do not allow. The nature of the posts allow game masters to handle split parties more easily than most other formats, and the slow pace and medium allow for descriptive actions and collaboration to make the story flow better. Possibly the best feature of play-by-post games is that everything is logged, recorded, and easily accessible to allow players and GMs to reference what happened before and ensure the narrative fits together. Finally, due to not needing all players to be active at once, play-by-post works well for players across multiple time zones. Splitting parties is, in most formats, a pain. The reason is simple. In real-time games, you have two unrelated groups who want attention and action resolution, and a single game master to do it. Inevitably, that means that one group will be sitting around doing nothing while the other part gets their actions resolved, and then they swap. Due to the nature of play-by-post, a game master can handle a group splitting up far better, holding multiple coherent conversations at the same time, and the like. Much of the time, describing actions and surroundings for a player can be a bit difficult. You might find yourself making stuff up on the fly, or just not have time to come up with an engaging description of every bar patron. When it comes to play-by-post, you lack that on-the-spot time restriction, meaning that as a game master, you can think through your descriptions, revise drafts as things occur to you, and generally go into more detail. Additionally, most forums allow you to either post or link pictures, giving visual aids to the scene. Most play-by-post games have an out-of-character channel, be it a second thread on the forum or a Discord group, which allows players and game masters to coordinate the success or failure of various actions in the out-of-character thread, and thus have only the results on the in-character thread, which allows for a smoother and more readable story. As I have said before, the main strength of play-by-post is the ability to go and reread events leading up to the present, allowing the game master to insert subtle story threads and themes that the players might not immediately pick up on. This makes the format excellent for intrigue-based games, where there are a lot of characters to keep track of, since both the game master and players can go through the records and see if a character is acting consistently when they reappear. Play-by-post games are not perfect by any means. One player with a slow posting schedule can hold everything up, the story progresses at a snail's pace, and combat can be painfully slow. Since even a short back-and-forth conversation can potentially take several out-of-game weeks to resolve, the emphasis on play-by-post games is of extreme importance. It is often wise to start a Google Doc or a Discord thread and work out the entire conversation outside of regular posting structure, and then post the whole thing at once rather than stop the entire game for several weeks for a short conversation. Combats in play-by-post have a tendency to drag on, as unless you're using one of the alternative methods mentioned before of resolving it, then it will take several weeks of players posting one action, waiting for everything to resolve for that round, and then move on to the next round. And because posting order rarely matches up with initiative order, it's entirely possible for a later post to invalidate the earlier post's actions by killing the target of the attack or taking out the earlier post's character before they have a chance to act in the initiative. I have generally found that it is best to keep fights to a minimum in a play-by-post whenever possible. emphasizing role-playing and cunning solutions rather than prolonged battles and random encounters. There are many forums where you can find a play-by-post game. If you have a specific system in mind for the game, your best bet is likely a forum dedicated to that system. For instance, if I wanted to run or play a Shadowrun game, the Dumpshot forums would be a good place to start. While if I was in the mood for Pathfinder, I would go to the Paizo Publishing forums. There are also more general role-playing focused sites such as RPG.net, and many communities on the internet with forums have active role-playing communities tucked away somewhere. Once you have an appropriate place to look for your play-by-post, you either search for or start a recruitment thread. This is where people will sign up for the game. Once the Game Master and players have been established in the recruitment thread, the standard practice is to have 2 game threads, an in-character and an out-of-character thread. It is extremely impolite to post in an in-character thread if you are not part of the game, but out-of-character, or OOC threads, tend to allow non-players to post, ask questions, and potentially even sign up to join after the game starts. While posting in an in-character thread that you are not part of is impolite, reading them is generally fair game. If you just want to follow along and enjoy the stories of other characters, that is perfectly fine. Archived threads might inspire you with some fantastic new adventure ideas. Anyway, that's all for now. Don't forget to like, subscribe for more content, and if it's up by now, join my Patreon. Members get custom render art of their characters, monthly one-shot games run by myself, and potentially they even get to take part in a full long-term campaign. In any case, keep well and have fun.